And it was, oh my goodness, guys. I had the immaculate vibes there. That's crazy. It was on the tri-point of the countries, of the 3 countries I was discussing. What's good, everyone? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. So very recently, we had a new category added to the Geoguessr World Records, which is an Arbitrary Rural World. Obviously, I always love an opportunity to get my name on leaderboards, so we're going to be going for the no moving, panning, or zooming world record today. I think Big P, Phineas, has the top score at 30 at the moment, but anything above 25 will get us onto the leaderboards. Obviously, I'm going to smash 30. We can do it. It all depends on the seed, of course, as well. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get straight into the first round here, which I would assume is somewhere in Latvia or Estonia. And it looks like we have round bollards. So I guess it should be then Estonia. I forgot that Estonia had red background chevrons, but yeah. Okay, so basically this one is similar to Rural World, except Rural World is a bit harder. And we're not on a 72 streak, we're on a 1 streak, or 0 streak. Because Rural World was handpicked to be as difficult as possible, whereas this one is just AI generated. So let's get straight into the first round here. That was indeed Estonia. Let's go. Let's see what we can get. I'll move pretty quickly on the first rounds, just because, you know, it's better to just go quickly at the start, and then when you get to the more difficult rounds, that's when you kind of think about it a bit more. We've got the red brake light here, plus the short dashes. This should be somewhere in Sweden. I think it's like one of these roads where you get that most often, and it's just out here. That's fine. Next one here, this is Spain. I could only assume it could actually be Israel too, but yeah, guardrail feels more Spanish, and this landscape does feel pretty Spanish as well, so I'm happy to just go for it here, and we'll be correct. Yes, we are. Very good. Okay, next one here. South Africa, we got South African poles, so yeah. So yeah, this map is definitely a lot easier than a rural world, but yeah, I still like it anyway. Rural rounds are always fun to me as well. This one's a bit more challenging. I think it's just Senegal. Because we got the back of the car here, and it doesn't really feel much like Kenya to me. If it was Kenya, it'd have to be all the way down here on the coast somewhere, and it just doesn't quite feel right, I think. So where's the sun? Sun's definitely more south, which obviously fits better marginally for Senegal. The sandiness also definitely fits. I'm just thinking this architecture is a bit strange for both countries. It definitely fits better for Senegal, but it is kind of strange, and it was just right by the coast there. So a really nice 23k to start us off with there. Actually, my top score on the map so far. Let's head through to the next round here and see what we can make, because that was a nice start so far. This is Jordan. We've got the Dead Sea to the west there. It is the Dead Sea. I always forget if I'm saying the right one, but yeah, that should be fine here. Obviously a nice start to the seed. Let's see what's next round here. This is Chile with the white roadlands. So guys, we haven't even dropped a single country yet. We're feeling good. We're feeling good. This is Cambodia, I could only assume. Could it be Thailand? Yes. Especially because this car almost looks like it's driving on the left. But I really thought it looked like Cambodia, so I think I gotta just trust myself here. Could it be Thailand? I mean, I don't think it can't be Thailand, but I really got the feeling this is Cambodia, and it was right on the border though, so I guess it makes sense that, you know, it felt a bit, you know, iffy. This is Thailand again. We got the snake trap on the pole top here, so I wonder what that would mean. Like, the snake trap is like found here in this state, and then around Bangkok, and then south. So I guess we'll try in this state because it kind of felt a bit further north, and it was just in one over, but that's still good. Still a good score. Next one here, this should be Malaysia. I'm getting big Malay vibes instead of Indonesian vibes here with the kind of plantation. I think it's going to be somewhere in Sabah, but I could also see Sarawak or just mainland. I'll just go for it here, and it was indeed Sabah. Okay, we're playing super nice here. That's 10 in a row already. Making it feel pretty easy, I would say, but obviously back-to-back 23Ks don't normally happen on this map, so we should expect some harder rounds in Europe soon. Regardless, I thought this was immediately Lesotho, just based on the grass and everything, but now I'm thinking it could be like the US or something like that instead. It feels a bit strange. Like, I feel like if it was Lesotho, I'd recognize it. And what's more, we have these kind of like little like fences here with this like kind of white reflector on the top, the farm fences. That's very typical of the US. So now I'm trying to place where in the US I would put this, and it is certainly kind of strange. Look, I don't exactly know where this is, especially with these kind of like orange dunes. It is like a little bit concerning. We just basically have to be there with that fence, I feel like. So maybe Colorado, Wyoming, something like that. Maybe Mexico, although again, I don't really know what would be in Mexico, so I think it's just US here. Somewhere fairly northern, actually. The longer I look at this kind of grass, I feel like this is kind of northern grass. So I'll go Wyoming here, and it was actually Sacramento. Wow. I mean, terrible score, and I thought it was Lesotho at first, but hey, we'll take it. It's good. We got the country. Okay, next one here should be US again. We can just run it back. This is Southern Pines. Pretty easy stuff there. Next one here, this is Hungarian bollards, I would say. Didn't really look typical Hungary. I'm still exploring the possibility that this could be far west Ukraine. You do get similar bollards sometimes like up here, but ultimately these are Hungarian bollards. I think they're a bit more white at the top. And I don't think it's Luxembourg, which you would also see similar bollards in. So yeah, I guess we'll just send. And it was all the way west there. Did feel weird, so that definitely makes sense, but we're on 13. Next one here, it's South Africa, Lesotho, or Eswatini, probably of the two, South Africa or Lesotho, and I think you have to go Lesotho here. It is not a typical Lesotho round. Nevertheless, we have what looks to be a Lesotho mountain on the very right of the screen there, so I'm happy to say that this is just somewhere around the Corn Exchange, which is here. Let's go for that. And it was just a bit further north there. Very nice indeed. Okay, next one here is Uruguay. So yeah, kind of reddish road, Generation 3, lots of like wooden fences here, clumps of trees. Could be Argentina, highly likely to be Uruguay though. We'll go there, and it was all the way up there. So another 20k. Obviously the USA let us down there, but we're already up to 15. We're halfway to the world record so far. We've not dropped a single round, which is obviously nice. This one, okay, this is a bit more challenging. I think it should be Indonesia, just because we have the black car here, which is very common in Indonesia. It is very volcanic, which obviously fits, although I don't know where this would be in Indonesia. So I'm just going to think about other countries that this could reasonably be with the black car. So, I mean, countries, I haven't even thought about it, but countries where you find the black car, Bangladesh, Indonesia, you get it in Australia sometimes, actually. What about South America? Which countries could you see black car? You get like kind of a darkish blue one in Peru, I feel. I'm not really sure about others, but yeah, I feel like options are actually kind of limited here. This basically, I mean, you do get it in Malaysia, but ooh, that would be a weird Malaysia if it was Malaysia, I think. You know, it's not impossible, but I really think this should be more Indonesian. And I wonder about Sumba here, just because we have a weird climate. It almost feels a bit European or something like that, which you often get in Sumba. So I'm gonna just go there. I don't really think it's there, but it's something in this kind of region here, a bit in like eastern Indonesia, I think. And it was Sumba. Okay, very nice indeed. Okay, next one here. Ooh, a bit more challenging, I can see that. Ooh, mixed kind of vibes here. I think this is actually Argentina. Let's check the sun in a second here. I don't want to check the sun. I want to be a bit unbiased before I see it. I like Argentina with this fence, kind of like a thicker wooden post there. That also is something I think I see in Argentina sometimes. It could be Russia, but again, I don't think the fence fits that nicely for Russia. So the sun is to the north. Okay, I like Argentina then. Brazil is a distinct possibility, I guess, if we were in Rio Grande do Sul. But surely that's less likely than Argentina on a round like this. So happy to just go for RG here. If it's Brazil, it's Brazil. And okay, it was Argentina. Very nice. Okay, 17. Let's go. We're not too far off getting onto those leaderboards now. This is indeed somewhere in Kyrgyzstan, so we can send it in here pretty safely indeed. Where do we want to go here? Big mountains to the south, not too much to the north. We can go Karakol area. We can go near Tomok. I very much struggled to differentiate the two, but I think this is more Karakol, maybe. And it was, oh, it was down here. Okay, not the best guess. Next one here, Russia, with the black car and a long antenna. Also, vibes are very Russian, so we're feeling good there. Is it Urals? Is it somewhere else? Not really too sure here. Might just go like near Chelyabinsk or something like that. And it was, you know, further towards Kazan. That's okay. Next one here. Okay, we don't want to screw up now. This one should be somewhere in Slovenia, although Croatia is still possible. So, what can we get here? This is a very German-looking house. I think that really makes me lean Slovenia here. I wouldn't see those houses in Austria, so I don't think it's there. We do have some like, yeah, this is like almost certainly in like the western half of the countries. Like it could be around here or just around here. As I said, definitely prefer the Slovenia side, but you know, got like some vineyards here, definitely kind of that kind of vibe where it looks more like that kind of direction. So, yeah, not really too sure here what else to say, because I think it's those two countries. I think it's more likely to be Slovenia, so I'll just send it. Let's go for it. And oh wow, it was over in Croatia, just this side instead. So 19 countries in a row ends there. But obviously we can keep going, guys. That was just a quick and nice streak of 19. Not really submittable because I think you really need 20 plus here, but you know, that's fine. Okay, next one here, back into Russia. Let's see what is it up here? I don't know. Oh no. Let's see what we could have done, what we could have added on to that streak, you know? Okay, this one is actually relatively difficult. I think it is Russia again, but the dashed line is kind of interesting. Could it be Finland as well? Maybe, yeah. Obviously is Europe because we got the kind of white dashes. And I think, well, it would be a strange Finland, but I could see it. I'd have to go for Russia here. And it is Russia, very good. Okay, next one here, it's going to be Chile or Peru. Of the two, I think it is actually Chile here. So this could be a bit of a streak ender. I think I would go Chile. Like, something about it just doesn't feel quite right for Peru. Like, I feel like this is something around Copiapo, so I'll just try it. And it was further north there. Terrible guess by region, but we got the country, which is great. Okay, this one would have been Colombia. So yeah, we would have been on the world record sheets now. It's unfortunate, but you know, it happens sometimes. I mean, I feel like most players would be guessing where we guessed in Slovenia on that Slovenia round. So I guess we'll find out. Regardless, that was a terrible New Zealand guess. Hey, we got 14,000 points, but all the right countries, so that's good. Next one here is like California or something, surely. It's very interesting. Oh, these maybe, could it be Europe? California sometimes has a bit of a Europe vibe. These trees are a bit weird. I'm looking at these double yellow lines, but they're very faded. So could they be just temporary lines, you know, in the way that you kind of see in places where they're gonna like paint some white lines later on in Europe? But ultimately, we do have a wooden pole here. So unless this is like an incredibly weird Greece, it has to be the US. And if it is the US, then surely this is like Bay Area somewhere. Okay, that was actually Colorado. Very interesting round. Those trees felt so European. Next one here. Ooh. So this is where we would have been at, what, like 27? So, or 26? I don't know. This is a very interesting round. Huge cacti. Okay, let's be objective about this. So, Mexico obviously comes to mind first, although I'm not sure if I like that as much as I may. So could it be Europe? Okay, where's the sun? Sun is pretty unhelpful here, honestly. Is it slightly going one direction? Maybe. If anything, it feels slightly... I don't think I want to read into it too much. What does landscape actually say here? These hills are kind of slight in a way that made me think it could still be something like Spain, but the very wide road is not typical, so... Yeah, I'm kind of between like Argy and Peru and Mexico and Bolivia here, something like that. I think Bolivia, I don't think it's Bolivia because I feel like I'd recognize it if it was, because Bolivia has relatively limited coverage. So yeah, I mean, Peru as well. These kind of be very short mountains for Peru, so I think I can count that out actually. So maybe Chile though? I think again, like the mountains are a bit small for Chile. So Mexico or Argentina. Maybe Mexico is just best here, because I'm struggling to place where it would be in Argy, especially with this many cacti. So I think I will just go Mexico here, but yeah, it's not a pleasant round. I don't know where this is for sure, so I'll just go Mex here, and it was Mex. Yeah, kind of processes of elimination there, but it's good. So we would have continued. That's unfortunate. This is, or fortunate, depending on how you look at it. This is an interesting one, for sure. Are we looking at some Hungary action? I don't know what these really long dashes are about, though. It could be France. Oh, we're driving left. Okay, that changes everything. Obviously, this is the UK then. This is the back of the Google card. That's how I realized, by the way. And actually, you do get these kind of like painted in, like little reflectors inside the road pretty often there. I did not get the vibe here. I thought this was further south, but we'll go. And it was actually in Scotland. Wow, did not get that at all. Wow, interesting. Next one here is going to be somewhere in Mexico again. Mexican pole top, lots of big cacti here. Kind of like reminds me of the San Luis Potosi kind of vegetation that you get, and it was just over the border, that's fine. Okay, next one here is going to be somewhere in Greece, double white lines, very pale road, rusted, yeah, it all makes sense for Greece. I don't really see anything else, because if it was Croatia, it would be a single white line, so yeah, it's very useful to telling those two countries apart. And that wasn't a really easy round. It's just the road lines that completely gave it away. Okay, we're back to 10 here. So this is the round where we would have equaled Big P. Oh no, we would already be equal, and we'd have to get this one to get there. And I think this is Canada rather than Alaska. I think. Yeah, these pole tops feel Canadian. Not really sure where. This can be anywhere in the Great Plains. I'm just going to go Alberta. And it was Alberta. Nice. Okay, so we would have had world record. That is so unfortunate. Just a either side of the border kind of thing here. But there's nothing to stop us from going on winning the whole thing here. So let's just do that. Okay, that was easy USA. This should be Spain. Very Spanish landscape, so gonna be surprised if it's anything else. Again, we don't have the double whites, which we'd expect in Greece, so let's just go Spain, and it was Spain, pretty easy. Next one here is hard, so this is where we may have bowed out. And what do you go here? Maybe, I thought it's definitely Europe, I think. Kind of a thinner road here, corn. So I thought of like Romania, but I feel like it's all a bit too, like it doesn't feel quite warm enough for Romania, especially in the kind of region. If it was Romania, I'd be thinking of this kind of region here, which is still possible, but yeah. And the dirt road coverage is definitely interesting. Now, kind of thinking of more north here, maybe Hungary, even Poland. Though Poland might be a bit too cool. Okay, but why is it so sandy? Why is it so sandy? I feel like this is definitely gettable, but I'm just going to think of what the right country is here. Obviously, the fact that it's Generation 4 helps because it kind of looks like Serbia or Ukraine or something like that. They're all stuck in Generation 3 still. Ooh, yeah, I don't know. It could even be like a really weird, like flat Austria, Slovakia, something like that. Well, within contention here. Would that be too ridiculous? I feel like flat Austria is low-key hella possible here. Yeah, just kind of confused. I feel like overall the best bet still might be Romania. But it really feels like Serbia. So maybe it is like, it's something this valley here, you know, this valley here I think is actually kind of best. But I don't really remember seeing that much dirt road coverage in Hungary. Still might go for it anyway. But yeah. Okay, enough talk. I'm just gonna go for Hungary here. And it was, oh my goodness, guys. I had the immaculate vibes there. That's crazy. And it was on the tri-point of the countries, of the 3 countries I was discussing. That's actually nuts, honestly. But okay, we got 14. Man, we would have been on such a stonking score right now. It's not, I don't really even feel like I choked the Croatia or Slovenia round. I feel like we just kind of were on the wrong side of a 50-50 there. Although maybe the polls are slightly different. If you think they are, tell me. Anyway, next one here should be somewhere in Ecuador. This feels like a pretty Ecuador poll top. We got the white card with the stubby antenna. Yeah, I mean, it could be Brazil. I don't think so, though. I feel like this is good. And it was indeed there. Very good. Okay, so we are up to, what, 15 now? Something like that. Yeah, 15. So, yeah, we're back in contention here. Man, we would have been on a stonking streak, guys. We would have been near 45 now, right? Yeah. Eesh, that's annoying. Oh, no, we wouldn't have been. We died at, like, yeah, we would have been, like, 35 or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, 34. Yeah. Okay, next one here's Eswatini. Yeah, we can say that for sure. We got the long white grass. Yeah, long yellowish grass, I mean. So somewhere in the west of the country, presumably here. I'll just go there. And it was in the west indeed. Okay, next one here. Ooh, USA or Canada. Definitely getting more USA vibes here, but I can see Canada definitely here. So that's kind of the concern. Now, the trees feel more northern. I can say that. But the soil is interestingly pink. When you see pink soil like this in Canada, it tends to be in PEI or around PEI. So, but it doesn't feel like PEI at all. So this would have to be like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Overall, I think I'm definitely more amenable to like a Massachusetts, Vermont hedge here. Just because I do get more of a US vibe here. So I'm just going to go for it here. Let's see what it is. And wow, it was actually Alabama. Okay, I definitely thought those trees were northern. Just must have been during the winter and I don't know, not many pines there at all. I don't think we saw any pines. So, or at least not the, well, it's a national forest. So that makes sense. I don't know, just something interesting. Okay, finally some Australia. This should be Queensland somewhere. I'll just send it in. Very nice. Okay, next one here, Russia. We got an all-white number plate, so I can safely assume Russia here. Not really sure where. I thought it was like something quite far north here, maybe even like up to this stuff, but it's more forested, so I'll go here. Ooh, yeah, that was near Murmansk. Okay, got a bit of a shock there. That's okay, though. Next one here's Australia again. This time, ooh, a really cool landscape, actually, here. It doesn't feel that Australian, minus the gum trees. But yeah, we're going to be somewhere like, I feel like on this border here, like maybe around Cooma. We could send Cooma, but I feel like it's probably more likely to be around Albury or something. I'm just going to go there. Okay, it was further north towards Orange. Just really cold coverage there. So we're back to 20 here. Man, back-to-back 20s is pretty rough. That's so unfortunate that we lost that 50-50 before. We could have had such a big world record here. But regardless, here's some Chile action, so that's good for us. Here you go. Okay, next one here. This one is Thailand or the Philippines. Now, immediate vibe was Thailand. And the double concrete road reminds me more of the Philippines. So, look, yeah, that's tough. That's tough because yeah, you normally tend to trust the double concrete roads as being pretty Filipino. I can't shake the Thailand vibe here though, so that's kind of the difficulty at this stage. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting indeed. I don't really know what the play is. The big metal pole, I don't think that reminds me of either country particularly. In fact, I feel like I basically don't recall seeing that much at all. One interesting thing about this round is that we have this kind of like very Indonesian looking fence, and you do see concrete roads every now and again in Indonesia, for example, particularly East Kalimantan or like Kalimantan in general. I don't love Indonesia here though. I really think that the concrete road, you're better off trusting it. In which case, maybe with the Indonesian fence, kind of like, you know, Philippines is closer. So that would kind of be my logic there. It would also fit with the road. So I feel like I got to go for that here. I think it is likely to be correct, but I'm still just like, you know, it is a bit of a toss-up round. There's not really much to go off of here. I think I'll go for that. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the other two. We'll see. It was Philippines. Very nice indeed. Okay, we continue on. We're 22. This is a very Botswanan-looking South Africa. Now, when you see Botswana looking South Africa, you should probably guess near Botswana. That would be my recommendation. And I feel like this is like near Kuruman, yeah, or a Kathu or something like that. I guess it could also be up in here, or even up in here. But we'll just go for the central hedge. Yeah, it was around Kuruman there. It's good. Okay, next one here. This is probably Philippines again. Man, if we could see a license plate this round, it'd be a whole lot easier. Is ever Bangladesh? I could not discount Bangladesh here, you know. Some of this vegetation is very interesting as well. I think it is Philippines, and I think it's like Luzon or something like that. But, you know, it's a fairly similar latitude between those two, and they can end up looking quite similar for sure. Now, the blur at the back of the car here is really weird. If you see a very square-looking blur, that can also, like, often mean that you're in a roof rack country, which obviously Gen 3 Bangladesh was. But yeah, I don't know. Does he look Filipino? He certainly could. He certainly could. I think it looks more Filipino than Bangladeshi, if I had to say, but this truck almost feels a bit Bangladeshi, doesn't it? Especially with this kind of like a blanket held over the front there. But again, look, we have this kind of Indonesian-looking fence here, so I'm feeling like we trust the Indonesian fence for the second time. Although, yeah, I mean, that is, it is a little bit intimidating, this. It is a little intimidating. I'm just running through other possibilities in my head, and I don't really think anything else comes too much to mind. It could still be Indonesia, but I definitely didn't get that vibe off the bat. Her fashion seems much more like Western influence than you might see in Bangladesh. That's kind of my thinking here. So overall, I think Philippines is best. Also, like, Philippines rounds are often just really hard, and this is really hard, so I feel like it just fits for Philly. But yeah, I'll go for it here. Let's find out what it actually is. It was Philippines again, yeah. Again, just like hedging Philippines when you have no idea is not a bad idea, and that kind of Southeast Asia vibe round. Ooh, okay, here we go. We got a bit of a Czechia-Slovakia 50-50 here. Ooh, and it's difficult. It's difficult. It is difficult. So, Czechoslovak bollards. We got the kind of highway is lined with trees here. It's something you definitely see a lot in Hungary and Poland. Maybe, you know, pretty commonly in Czechoslovakia as well. These ones could be like some Scots pines. That doesn't really help differentiate the two countries. Really, we're gonna have to go on landscape here. I mean, I can't lie. As soon as we loaded in, I thought Slovakia. The longer I look at how flat everything is, though, I think Czechia may be the play, just maybe near Slovakia instead. I mean, we have the blue car without an antenna. I think that can be either country, right? But definitely, like, that's like the main one you see in Czechia. I don't know. I do not know. Like, yeah. This is just, we're back in that 50-50 realm, right? This is what a lot of country streaks come down to. Making that right decision, and, yeah, I don't know. This is difficult for sure. I feel like these pole tops here that you can vaguely see in the distance might be more common in Slovakia, but surely both countries are filled with them. Fruit trees as well. Something, I mean, I don't know if they're fruit trees exactly. Yeah, they look like apple trees. I associate apple trees more with Czechia, although that's probably hideously fake meta. Okay, well, yeah, rolling landscape. I think I have to go Czechia here, guys. Let's see. Okay, well, Czechia, very nice. Okay, well, yeah, all the way over here. That makes sense, I guess. And we're on 25 here, so we have a submittable seed here. This is great. This is great. Now let's see what we have. Canada is next on the chopping block here. This is a fairly simple one, I would say. Just going up here feels pretty good. So let's go straight for it here. Now, Ever Alaska. No, I'm not saying it's not. And it was indeed BC. Very good. Okay, next round here. Yeah, this should be Brazil or Colombia, obviously. I think this is Roraima. I mean, the poll feels pretty good for Brazil. I'm just trying to, like, parse out any other possibilities in my head. So, the car excludes Argentina, which is good. It could have maybe been somewhere up there or up here. Yeah, so that's good. I feel like anywhere from Mato Grosso do Sul up to Roraima is technically possible here. And then you have those really weird Colombias where you also get a similar landscape like this. But I think the poll looks Brazilian, so I'm happy to go for Brazil here. And, you know, it's probably Roraima, so let's just go for that. And it was Roraima indeed. Very good stuff. Ooh, next one here is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, no, it's not. What are we thinking of, though? We got a big freight train here. We got winter coverage. So, first place to come to mind was, like, really South Russia here. Let's investigate that with the trees here. Trees don't give me too much. Huge, like, these poles are very interesting. How do we send the right country here? This is difficult stuff. Okay, but what about this crop? I don't know what that would mean, honestly. Ooh. Yeah, this fence over here certainly kind of reminded me of South Russia, so I still don't mind it on that respect. It is very flat and very dead, like you see in the South Russian winter coverage. But then again, oh man, I feel like we have to send Russia here. Honestly, don't really see what's the better idea, because Russia's huge. There's a whole swathe of area from like Voronezh all the way down to Grozny that looks like this. Then, you know, we could be in Hungary, we could be in Romania, Bulgaria, Slovakia, even, I don't know what else is possible here. Yeah, kind of those four are the most possible elsewhere. Maybe even Italy is possible here. Ooh, about Italy then. The freight train is definitely interesting. I don't really recall seeing too many of those in any of the countries I recognize. Talked about, maybe, I don't know, that's probably common in all of them, but, you know, you probably just don't see it that often, do you? I'm just talking nonsense. Red wall there. What does that mean? Is it a brick wall? I feel like if it's a brick wall, that feels good for like southern Russian architecture. I think I'm just gonna send it here. I feel like it all fits well enough to make it worth sending. And to the point where like these other ones are just too marginal, so I'm gonna go for it. And it was just in Austria. Wow, really interesting one there. So we got 27, just behind Big P at this stage. Obviously, we will submit that, but it's just a shame, a crying shame. Because we would have had, like, what, like 36 there? Yeah, no, 46, I think, yeah. So, obviously, we would have smoked the world record there. But for the good thing, we only got the country wrong twice in the video, and it was pretty exciting. So guys, thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end. Obviously, we'll get this world record soon enough, unless of course Steak starts grinding it or something. But in the meantime, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.